Our own marriage was not easy.
Yeah.
We broke up many times.
Wow.
Yeah, because at that time, we were young and so many things. But along the line, I need to sit down and say, no, this thing can go. Then I begin to reflect.
Guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for watching. And today I have an amazing couple here. This is my first time of interviewing a couple here, and I'm privileged to have Mr. and Mrs. APPIAH here. So guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for watching. And today I have an amazing couple here. This is my first time of interviewing a couple here, and I'm privileged to have Mr. and Mrs. APPIAH here. So Pastor Enoch is a pastor of International Christian Church, Spandau branch, and Mrs. Violet APPIAH is a deaconess. And yes, so I'd like them to introduce themselves, and then we start with the interview. So thank you so much for having me today.
Thank you. Also thank you for having us.
Thank you.
And welcome us to your program.
Thank you so much.
Thank God for the wonderful work that God is using you
Amen.
in talking to public people and people that will learn something from this program.
Yeah.
Thank God for everything. My name is Pastor Enoch. I'm a branch pastor, IC International Spandau branch. And we thank God for our life.
Amen. Mama Violet.
Okay, my name is Violet APPIAH. I am the wife of Pastor Enoch. I'm the first lady of Spandau ICC branch. I'm mother to all. I welcome everybody who comes on my way. I take everybody in as a mother. And I thank God for a staff program that she has chosen us today to interview us, and I'm very privileged to be your guest.
Thank you so much, Mommy. She's an amazing woman. Yeah, there's so much things she does, but we'll talk about it in the interview. So Pastor and Mrs. Deaconess, you are a Ghanaian, right?
Yeah, we are both Ghanaians.
So I want you to tell us a little history about your life in Ghana. How was it like? Yeah, as children growing up in Ghana.
Okay. I was born in Kumasi, to be precise. I was born in Kumasi. I was educated in Kumasi.
Okay.
My primary school was in Shaiso International School, and I went to St. Monica Secondary School.
Wow.
And
Yeah.
I also went to Trinibu Akodia Secondary School. And after my secondary school, my sister brought me to Berlin here. So it's here that I met my husband.
Wow.
32 years ago.
Wow.
And we have been together for all this while. We have blessed children.
Yeah.
And we didn't know we are coming here to be called pastors, or God was going to change our status, because everybody that is coming from Ghana know that we are going to hustle and we are going to have a better life in Europe. But to our surprise and to our little knowledge, we chose the way of God, and God has called us to the ministry. So this is all that I can say about us.
Yeah, that's amazing. So, but Pastor, how did you also come to Germany? How was your life in Ghana? How did you even hear about the opportunity to travel here and successfully come here?
Thank you so much, sister. No, I was born in Oyoko, small village in the Florida Eastern region.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I think after a few years, my mother relocated because she was transferred from Oyoko. She was a daycare teacher.
Okay.
Can I hear you say kindergarten teacher?
Yeah.
So she was transferred to Florida.
Okay.
And so we migrated to Florida.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's where, and then I didn't stay in Florida too much because I was with my father.
Okay.
And my father was a head teacher.
Okay.
So I grew up in Mampong, Equiapem.
Okay.
And then he was transferred to Suhum, so I was with him. And then finally he transferred him to Tema. So it was Tema actually I grew up.
Okay.
Yeah, so I went to Mexico number 4. And then I went to Corridor Secondary School, that's Sectec. And then I also went 6th form in New Japan Secondary School.
Okay.
And then after the national service, I left. You know, there was opportunity for me, and then I left from Ghana to Berlin,
wow,
Germany.
That's
that was
amazing.
in 1990.
That's amazing. I like to chip in that I also went to St. Monica, so
that's
my mother.
Schoolmate, yeah.
Yes.
I was in Lome House.
Next question is, you actually chipped in that you met your amazing wife in Berlin. So how did you meet her?
Yeah, the time I came to Berlin, I was living with a friend, give us a place, and then I was working in that was a Kaiser's, I say, Kaiser's shop. We were doing some cleaning there.
Okay.
Because that time you don't speak the language.
Yeah.
You don't have anything.
Yeah.
So somebody need to hold you.
Yeah.
So yeah, so we're doing this cleaning job to manage our life from the beginning.
Yeah.
And then the place I was living at, I was the friend's house, and the friend didn't pay the rent. So we were sacked.
Hey.
I did not know that he didn't pay the rent.
He
So
took the money, he didn't pay.
he took the money, he didn't pay. So when I came, I was having one small bag. The house of Aton locked the house. They put my bag.
Oh.
So I picked it and I called him, and he told me stories. Says, "Go manage your life."
Wow.
Yeah. So I left there and I called some friends that I know them. I didn't know them, but I came to meet them. And they are also from Tema.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they asked me to come to their place. So
Okay.
I was there for some time. So from there, going to the work, it was very far. So I will be a little bit late. He was asking me what is wrong, and I told him everything. That well, first I was living here only 10 minutes,
Oh,
but now I leave almost 1 hour.
Wow.
That's why I can't make it as I used to.
Yeah.
Because then I'll finish my work and also go and do his work.
Yeah.
So he was an elderly man.
Yeah.
So he asked me, okay, he has a room, an apartment, and then he has another room. I should come
Live there.
Yeah, I should come and see if I will
Like,
like it. So I went there because I didn't have a place to sleep.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I went there, it was
It was okay
a
for
mansion.
you.
So I told him I like it. So as I went there, the wife was pregnant. So at the time when the call comes, the wife is sleeping, they have to pick the call and answer for them.
Yeah.
And so Mr. Henry is not there, the wife also sleeping. And then my wife was a friend to this gentleman that used to work together in that place.
Okay.
They might like me so much because I'll finish my job and go and help him. But I was a very young boy, 20s.
Energetic.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
then by then Violet will call. That's what the friend to ask her how she's doing with the pregnancy and then. So later that she came, she delivered, and then she came to visit her, and then she met me there, and then the lady introduced, this is the young man that when you call, he used to pick the call. So we were there, and then they asked me to come. At that time, I don't want to go. So the lady will force me to come and sit there, let's talk.
Yeah.
So we came, they would sit down, they would talk. I don't have anything to say. Then, so after some time, as she had been coming there, so become a little bit friends, and then I asked my friend's wife, is she married? So she's a young lady. Yeah, she doesn't know. She doesn't know, but she knows that she doesn't have anybody. Then I said, okay. So I didn't say anything. Then she will be coming there. And then one day, Then my friend wife said, "Why don't you go and see her off for me?"
Okay.
So I went and I didn't say anything. So I came and I told her, if she has no one, I like her. She's beautiful.
Oh.
And then, so that time she was very young. Yeah, very, very young. As a Coca-Cola shape.
Wow.
She would come. You know, so along the line, she said no, she will not agree. She doesn't like this young boy. So after some time, she agreed.
Okay.
But it took longer time. Yeah, longer time. Even she did not agree. It was the sister's husband. He was an American, black American. So I used to call her, and I said, "Who's that? You know?"
Yeah.
And then so okay, and then the senior sister who brought her, and then the husband American decided, okay, they should invite me to come so that they will see me.
Okay.
So I went there, and they saw me, and then the Tony, that's American, he called Tony. Tony said, "But you know, could be a good guy. Why don't you give me just a try?" So the first time she was coming, it was the husband, the Tony, is an American. Yeah, she escorted her to the banner, and they said, "Just try it." But I can see him. He's a nice gentleman, but that's what I can see. But I think he's a good person. So why don't you give her a try? So it was them added more, you know, put in more of this grace.
Yeah.
And then one day she agreed. And
so Mom, I can see Mommy wants to add something to it. Is that what happened?
It was that happened. And you know, when I called my friend, he will pick. Then I told my friend, who is picking the phone? He says, "Oh, there's a brother here." I say, "But the phone doesn't belong to him. Why is he always picking the phone?" Then he said, "Oh, sometimes I ask him to pick the phone." So when I went there, and we went with friends, because my friend was also young, even she's younger than me. She has given birth, and we were so happy, like we have come to Europe, we have a Europe baby and all this stuff. And when he would come and sit down whilst we are talking and everything, but because there was something like my friend always talk about me, this lets him have the interest to know who this person is. You know, and say, when she come, you will see her. She's beautiful. She's this. She's that. So when he saw me and he said, "Hey," I said, "Me, I don't like small boys. I don't like small boys. These small boys, they will come and play with you and just drop you. I want somebody, if anything, somebody a bit elderly, responsible." Then she was trying to tell me all about him, but in fact I was not interested. So it was that time he was my father. When I came, he was my father. So he said, "Just give him a try." And the first date he took me, and he said, "If anything happens and you think you don't like, just go." You know. So you call, and wherever you are, I'll come and pick you. So he was a dear father to me, that he really, really, really showed me that he cares, despite the fact that he was my sister's husband. But he showed me again, because he said, when I came, my type of person, and that young, beautiful lady with so much intelligence, so respectful. In America, you will not get such things like that. So he really, 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 really was appreciating and taking good care of me. So he was really backing the relationship. So he said, "If anything, just call me wherever you are." So my sister also, that time my sister was even in the hospital, I think. She was pregnant, and they have to admit her in there. Wherever she is, may God bless her.
Amen.
And she also said, when the first day he said, "Oh, he's a nice looking guy." Well, let's try. So it's everybody was like behind, but let's see if you go at nothing is working out there. And By and by, when the morning comes.
Amen.
And it has taken us 32 years.
Wow.
So,
Yeah. And I
it's
also
a
want
very beautiful
exactly.
journey. Yeah.
And you are really passionate about marriage, and that's why you started this happy hour.
Happy.
They have an amazing program called Happy Hour every Thursday, 6 to 7, right? So,
1 hour program.
yeah, and your desire and your passion to see marriage grow is
growing
really, really
and-
inspiring.
Yeah, and giving the young women or that are coming up, the upcoming women, to let them know that you don't just give yourself anyhow.
Yeah.
You understand? These days, they have named it all. You understand? My fiancé, my this, my that. Before even the man will say Jack, they have lose themselves for the man. So sometimes, if you go to the market and you find anything cheap, sometimes the thing might be quality, but because you bought it so cheap, you don't give even value upon the thing that you have bought. Despite the fact that it's quality, but because you saw it in a German Angebot, it was on sale. You understand?
Discount.
So discount. So sometimes it's a very quality or valuable thing, but because you bought it so cheap, you don't put that value on it. That's why I'm so passionate about the women, the young upcoming women, that stay for them to marry you. When they pay your bride price and they know that they didn't get you anyhow, they value you and put a high quality on you. But if you give them, they will also take it like that. So we should respect ourselves, give ourselves a value price, so that when the men get us, they will also know that they didn't take us so on the silver platter. You understand?
But who brought about the idea? Happy Hour.
I think it was me.
Okay, yeah, whoever brought it, God richly bless you.
Yeah, doing it together.
Yeah. So, Papa, how did you see the program when you first started? What was like the motivation behind the program? And
You see, what motivated me is that you see, I came from a let me say, not broken home, but my mother, didn't have it easy, because all of us were 4, and we are 5 in number. We have everybody's different father.
Wow.
Yeah, so we went through very difficult time. Yeah, though my mother and my father separated by then until I was 6 years. So I was with my father where he goes everywhere. So vacation, then I'll come to my mother for 2 weeks or 3 weeks. I go back, and then so things was not easy. So when we started this happy hour, I tried to educate the people that divorce is not the option. As for 2 of you can separate, fine. You can part on your own different ways. But the children are ones going to suffer more. So this happy hour talk about marriage and all these things, so motivating. So we didn't see that it's going to go far. People, bishops and people are watching from all over. All over the world. And then so happy hour, I don't know how we started the happy hour. So then we begin to talk about things. Because you see,
we saw that there are now more broken homes in the Christendom now. You understand? Even the Christians, when things happen, we don't have that. We are all humans. We have to be very precise. We have to be very fair about whatever happens. We are humans. When something is not going well in the marriage, sometimes the decision can be so quick, but the long suffering also lets you sit down and think, if this happened, what about my children? What about the future of the children? What if you consider, then you say, let me give it another chance, let me give it another this, let me do this. Then you will start thinking and you say, let me give it to God, or let God come in and help us. But sometimes when we go to the marriage and we know that the marriage is very sweet, and beginning everything is sweet. We mostly forget about the foundation and the head of the family. The head is a supreme God that is watching us, the one that we dedicate the marriage to. But sometimes, because we don't take a lot of things in prayer, we just take things by ourselves, and by the time we have destroyed a lot of things. A lot of things.
You see, the happy
and
hour.
it's not easy like
I think we
that.
said that.
People may be, they think 32 solid this years. We have not gone through it. It's not smooth, because even in our language said the tongue and the teeth, they bite and they still stay together. It has been ups and downs, a lot of things, but through it all, we still stay together and pray to God.
Most of the things that we discuss, we use our own life.
Experiences.
We talk to them. You see, I live in a compound house. When we went on vacation, when I came to my mother was living in a compound. So I saw so many things. So many. I was young, but I saw so many things for couple, what they were going through. And then I know how to play draft. So I used to play with elderly people. Elderly people. Yeah, I used to play with Pastor Nemos, our bishop's father.
Wow.
Yeah, not the real father, but the father's brother. Doing elderly people. So I played. So
because they all come from the same.
Yeah. So they were talking. At time we'll be playing. We'll be talking. Then he was advising me. Now I was a boy, but I was listening, and we were playing the draft. And because I know how to draft, at time he would send from the bishop camp. They would go there, we'll be playing on vacation time, and I'll be talking and I'll be listening. So I had so many experience in marriage whilst I was not, I haven't reached that place. And I saw so many things with my own eyes, so many things. So this happy hour, it was God who built this vision. And then so it has blessed a lot of homes. I have a friend, he's in Ghana. Every time he has been watching a wife, he said, huh? Then they'll be talking. And I say at times what we discuss as if we are in their house.
You know what is going on there.
And it has saved a whole lot of marriages. And then also help us because in our church also, as where human beings are, there's almost here and there, marriages here and there. So also give us an ability also to advise the youth, the young ones that are coming. Say, listen, marriage is not the silver platter as you say. No. Because we are from different backgrounds, different.
Not the ceremonial day, but
so challenges.
Coming to stay under one roof.
Where you grew up, the area, your lifestyle, everything can affect or can impact the progress of the marriage because of the location you came from, the background you grew up, how you saw your mother treating your father, how you saw your father treating your mother, all these things. So it helps us able to know what to say. Because some things I've seen it in my own, I've experienced a lot of things. Whilst I was young, my mother's life, my friend's mother's life, things I saw in a compound house, and so many things. So it has helped us to deliver very good to the couples that you think it is easy. Things are not easy.
Like that.
So we thank God for happy hour, and we thank God for. I think you go through certain lifestyle. You don't know that tomorrow God is going to use that one,
to teach people.
So it was not easy. Even our own marriage, it was not easy. We broke up many times. Because at that time, we were young and so many things. But along the line, I need to sit down and say, no, this thing can go. Then I begin to reflect all what elderly people was talking those days. They say, you people are just boys. And so I picked so many things. I began to implement them. I realized, it's working. It's working. And for all these days, we got 32 years. It's not a small journey.
So what you have seen, what common examples, or what situations do you think are the reasons why people are separating now? As a pastor, too, what have you heard or counseled?
You see,
couples.
Number one is lack of respect, lack of communication, honesty, sincerity, and then love.
Okay.
Yeah, you see, the way you treat your partner. If you treat your partner well, the way you talk to her, the way you answer her, can determine that the marriage will go far. And then number one, to also value your partner. Yeah. And give him highly respect. You see, and then it's all is by talking, communication. Your words must be sweet. Your words must carry volume. You see, your words must carry wisdom. Know how to talk to the person. Even when your partner is angry with you, there's a way to diffuse that tension. Not give and take. There are things just swallow it. Just don't speak, don't say. I mean, forget it. Leave it. You see. And then ask yourself, what you did, is it right? If it's not right, what do you need to do? Though your partner is angry, leave that person at the right time, in a very good environment, and then you chip in. Say, maybe I didn't mean A, B, C, but maybe forgive, maybe I was not able to construct my words well, or I was not able to deliver my word well. You know, then you go to the person, then you apologize. You know, and then you make sure you don't repeat those things again, and then you speak good things. Anything that holds us, that binds us together, is words. Words are powerful. Words are spirit. It will go, it will come back and hit you. So the same magnitude that you will deliver. If you deliver good, you will see joy over that. But if you deliver bad, it will come back to you. So what holds us is, number one, the grace of God. Number two, the ways you speak to your partner.
Thank you.
Yes,
and God has blessed you with 4 children. I'm friends with them, and I know how they are. And by God's grace, they are all on the right path. Like, they are Christians and God-fearing people. I want to know, what principles did you set in place? Because the culture in Germany is different from the culture in Africa. So what principles or what things did you set in place to make sure that your children are not wayward? As compared to some children in Germany here that are wayward. So maybe Mama Violet would like to start.
Praise the Lord. I would say, by the grace of God, it's not the doing of a man or doing of me and Pastor, but it has been the grace of God. It wasn't also easy when during time I was beginning to have children. It wasn't easy. I would be having miscarriages and all these things. So it was like all the children prophecy will come before they will come. Prophecy will come before they will conceive and when they came also, I make sure that all the children, because I didn't have anywhere to go apart from the church, I've vowed to myself that now that I'm working with God, everything has to be God, and we have to raise our children in the fear of God. And God gave us also the grace for us to raise them in the fear of God manner. So if you can see them, they don't have a lot to do with the common word. Let's say they don't have, all they know in their life. Even recently we were talking and they were saying, it's like our life is church. So it's like we don't experience anything from us. So what can we also say to our children when we were this one? We say, you tell them what we are doing in the church. What if somebody say, all your CVs have to be in the church? So you write your CV. You understand? So we decided that we will raise them in the church. Even when they were going to school, they would let the school people know that all that they were born to do is to church, home, church. Even the school, they will say, and the children say, when you take them, you go to church in the evening, you go to prayers, because then I will say, yeah. If the Muslims take their children and take them to the mosque, this is what I'm training. So it became known to the school that my children or our children are born to serve God and nothing else. So in the school, Rachel was in the band or something. She was the commander of the band or whatever. Yeah, and Abigail will be singing the way. So sometimes of the day, or they were developing all this in the school. So the school teachers and everybody know that these children are real Christian, born to the Christian, and this is all that they know. So through their lifetime, they have been so good, sincere to the church. And sometimes I say, I know it's not easy for you guys, but these days I was even telling them, if you want to travel also, go and see some of the world. Just travel. Now you are not that too much kid that will control you, like you have to do this. You are also yet big grown-ups,
exactly.
So you can also travel and see. You understand?
I think Pastor Enoch wants to say something about it.
Yeah, Mama have said it though. You see, thank God that the time they came were really committed people. Thank God. I was not born again. I was a member of Momo. I was a member because my mother took us there. So, and just to respect my mother, I have to follow her. I was not born again. I was a member of Momo. I was a Momo because my mother took us there. So, and just to respect my mother, I have to follow her. You know, because my mother was alone with her children. So when anytime that would come from my father, they have to be under my mother. So we're going to church. So though while I was with my father, I was attending Aladura. That's what my father was.
What's that?
Yeah.
You know him.
So
you see, listen. You don't know.
I used to those days when we go to church.
Lumba.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The
Aladura.
Aladura is.
Yeah.
These days they will call it Lumba.
Okay.
They wear gowns mostly. They wear gowns with this red band.
So,
in those days, we call it sorry. Or you are sorry.
Yeah. Because they so
it's Aladura. So combined with momos.
So I used to play this Kokai and things. So when I come to Kofodia, they have to go to Momo. Yeah. So and then I left Ghana. So when I came, I was a member of Latter-day Saints. So even I went that thing almost a month or something like that, and then I left. So the time I met my wife, and so I go to church, and my wife was going to church, and she said, okay, then if I don't follow her to church, then she will leave me. But because I love her, like, it took many years before I joined.
Wow.
So the time I joined the church,
see, I'm a great evangelist.
Yeah.
Evangelist, everybody.
We thank God that the pastor that I grew under, Pastor Mache, who's in the UK, the Lord bless him. They did their best, and then Pastor Gustav and our senior pastor. So grew under their feet and were committed. I joined the prayer. I joined everything. First, they started with me with a video.
Okay.
Yeah, the time I entered, then the pastor looked at me. Then he put me at the end to join the video because to catch me.
Yeah, to give you something to
Yeah,
do.
so I became committed. I was also happy that I'm doing something. So, and then gradually, I started growing. So later, I became one of the witnessing. I joined the witnessing team, and then I joined the Sunday school. And every day Sunday school that time, we would go to Pastor Joe's house for training. They would teach us.
Wow.
Yeah. We were going to Bible school.
We were going to Bible
studies.
Now, and we also have also those who want to teach, want to be a Sunday school teacher. So I joined them. I joined almost every department. And prayer. So a time came, I was a Sunday school teacher. I was a prayer warrior. I was a video. I went through all the ranks from there. I became a witnessing leader, home cell leader. Yeah. And so I went through all the ranks. I went through all the ranks from the brother to deacon, elder, minister, pastor. So I went through all the ranks.
Everything that we supposed to.
Yeah. And so, and thank God, I grew up there. God helped me. There are so many things that I learned. So the time we had our kids, we were really committed. So when you come to a family that they are committed automatically, because we all go to church, and that time when Richie was in the kindergarten, I have to go early because I was in charge of the spiritual preparation. I have to make sure I open the door, we start the spiritual preparation, and all these things. So they will see what the father.
You will see Rachel doing.
Rachel was a child.
A lot of
like Minister Lizzie. Minister Lizzie, because of Rachel, that she stayed in that ministry. Because she saw this
little, and Rachel was very
little.
You know,
and then she was as she was praying there. This sugar praise also was holding the Malachi, and also so Minister Lizzie came so rich. She said,
if this little child.
So we thank God to it's the doing of the Lord. If God did not save my wife, and at times there are things nobody knows, only God knows. So He connected me to her at the early stage of my life in Europe, in Germany. You see, so gradually, that God has brought us to this level. It is a grace of God, not our strength. So, and this our children also, it was a prophecy. Prophecy came before they'll be conceived.
And mommy said something about the miscarriage.
She had about, I think about 7 or so.
Wow.
She had a lot of miscarriage.
Before Rachel, I have 2. After Rachel, I have 2. Then Abigail came. And between Abigail and Aaron, but after I gave birth to Aaron, I have another miscarriage.
Wow.
So it was also, you know, when you go through a lot of stuff as Christian, it's not there that you are going to being a human.
The other one was I think 6 months or so. It was
all of them were like 6 months, 5 months, 6 months, 5 months. You know, and even the last one, we have come from church. I was here. Then I was calling people who never came to church that day. I was trying to call people. I didn't see what happened and all this stuff. So I was even doing follow-up. Then later I say I want to lie down. So I lie down. Then I felt that my water break. So I went at once. This time around, before, sometimes I would sit down for my husband to come, or I would let somebody help me. By the time you go, they will say it's too late and all this stuff. So because I have previous experience, this time when I heard anything, I just we went to the hospital. So when we went to the hospital, immediately my leg stepped on the hospital, all the water fall. You understand? So I know now that I'm inside the hospital, they will do something about it. And I heard that some people lose it, but they still create water around the baby and all this stuff. And I was sitting down, this one come, they will interview me, they will do this. So by the time they gave me this, all that I was saying, I said, God, don't let this one also. And the previous week, I have gone to my daughter, sent me to a specialist. So when I went to this specialist, the doctor told me that I love this pregnancy. You look like somebody who is 20 years pregnant. So it means this pregnancy was very fine. Very, very fine. So when it happened, and I went to the doctor and they said, because later I was not hearing the baby. So they said what they have to do is they have to make a cesarean, or they will give me forced labor. Then I said they have to try something to save the baby for me. Everything was like, what about if you have the baby and the baby become disabled? They make everything not me. But later, where I felt I would not have the baby, I was not hearing the heartbeat.
Of the baby,
And so I didn't feel anything again, like I'm pregnant. So I have to wait. They will do this. Sometimes I will scream. The doctor said, I know. But the test they let me went through. So later when they check my files and they know that I have easy giving birth always. So this time around they were trying to do cesarean, but they thought if it was Aaron, and the cesarean they did later, they regretted doing it because they shouldn't have done it. But and so when I go, he will be telling people me I was a Kaiser, Caesar, like German, you know, and they forced me to go through birth. And you know, going through the pain of giving birth, but you know at the back of your mind that you are not going to have a baby. And everything that will do to your body will do to your body because you are giving birth. But the most painful things, I never came home with a baby. And you have to go through your breast to come, milk, everything. So I think that one day they gave me something to stop the milk flowing and everything. So it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy. It was, if I tell you it was easy, but to God be the glory that He still gave me 4 children. So
wow. So even though it's difficult,
So I used also this. There was a time there was a lady. She became pregnant and she was not expecting that baby, but because she was not expecting, it's like she don't want to accept the pregnancy and everything, and it was making her frustrated. So I have to come in and give my experiences to encourage her. I say, you know what? Let it be like you didn't want to have, but God has given to you. If the frustration, just put worship songs. Do this. So I was calling everything so that I'll make sure I will stand with her to have this baby. And to God be the glory, she gave birth and everything. But this baby never go to anybody apart from me. So I have her in my hand. I have pictures. And nobody would take this step. But when I opened my hands, the baby was coming to me. So now the baby is a big girl now. And I use also these miscarriages to encourage other women who are going through all these things that God will do it. If you would never, Pastor Jerry will say, if you would never give back testimony, or if you don't give up your faith, it's going to be behind you. So I thank God I still have.
Amen. But Pastor, how was the process like for you?
It was easy.
Yeah, I see. Everything give God the glory. You see, when your wife is pregnant, you go through more stress than the person that's carrying the baby, because small times man here, man there, man. Then at times you are disturbed, you are worried. Yeah, it was not easy, this miscarriage thing. They just have to stand up for her to give birth to that child to forced labor. I collapsed, they carried me from that place.
Oh.
It was not easy.
He always say, you know what, it's like whenever he comes, I have delivered the baby.
Yeah.
Whenever he comes. So this time they said he should stand by me. But immediately he saw the baby coming, he collapsed.
Right?
Me see.
I couldn't stop.
When I can say, hey, then you have withdrawn.
It was not easy.
Well, you know, we should so the
You see, I realized that, you see, God has placed each of us where we're supposed to be. Because this traveling to Germany, it took almost 3 months. The third opportunity comes, not even, I think about 2 months. Visa and everything just went through. So the time when they told my mother have gone, she was surprised.
Wow.
And ENOCH knew that it was a doing of the Lord. And then where he placed me, for me to be, for me to go to stay with that my friend.
If your friend hadn't paid the rent.
Yeah, for me to be removed, evacuated or whatever.
Exactly.
So like, I will not go there to meet her. So at times, that's why we say, you see, the way God does things, at times you can go through the valley of shadow of death, but he said, don't fear because he's with you. At times, during that pain, then you may discover your partner, you may discover your heritage, or you can discover your career, you can discover so many things. That's why he said at times, the ways of God are not our ways. And at times, God will allow certain things for you to go through challenges and pain. But if you wait patiently, you'll be able to go through the tunnel of darkness. And when you come out, it is so many opportunities. If I say it was God who does it, for me to go and stay with that my friend's house. I will meet her.
And some of your friends even bet.
Yeah, the time I saw her, I have a friend. He also is from Tema. If you threw him that they received me for where first to stay. In that place, if you go there, we all was living in a parlor like this, about 8 boys. So when the time for sleeping and you are not there, you don't have a place to sleep, you stand.
Sleeping.
Oh yes.
Wow.
Oh yes. We went through difficult times. So this one friend said, we beg this guy. They said this Bessia in English, said this lady. He said, I live with that lady in that place. You not get that this lady is American woman, she's speaking American English. So you get. Then I said, I'll get that lady. He said, you like that. So we made a bet.
Hey.
So he was surprised. How did you do it? He said, at times, it is not your strength. He said, Papa said, it's not by might, but it's the doing of the Lord. So it was God who orchestrated everything. He joined us together, brought us together, because he sees us today and beyond. But we didn't know those days. Because somebody allowed to do to Momo, but sliding Momo, that is dangerous and serious.
I wanted to even ask you, you came to the church, were there any challenges? Like, definitely someone would say, you are part of us, why are you going there? Or what challenges?
No, that time the church was a small church. And then we were only having Zustin Church, that Pastor Jerry. He was having the African church. He was the first African pastor who started the church here. And so from there, before CCOM came from Hamburg. So there was a division there at the Zustin Church, and a lady brought my wife to CCOM. So from that time, and then God by His own doing connect us together. But I know it was because of me. Because she didn't. My wife didn't have it easy. It didn't have it easy at all. Challenges, problems, this and that. The day I agreed to join her in church, this my tank was coming down. We ended up at the hospital.
The day he agrees to follow me to church, that Saturday night we have prepared everything.
It's not easy.
And he said, my tongue is pulling, my tongue. I said, how would your tongue pull? Then he couldn't talk again, so we rushed to the hospital. We sat down in the emergency. Sat down there for more than 3 hours. We went to church. And the day you went to church, when they called who want to give their life to Christ,
wow,
he was the first person who went for it.
They didn't want him to give.
That's what I'm saying. Whether God was telling you something, the rest is history.
But you became a Christian. What made you, or how did you hear the calling of God to become a pastor?
You see, I didn't know that I was going to be called a servant of God, a pastor, whatever it is. You see, the pastor who I grew, the one who baptized me, I love him. And then when we go, those days we were young, all of us, Pastor George and all of us, Pastor Freeman, all of us, the Favor, all of them. Brother Mike, I met them in the church.
Okay.
So every Saturday, the woman will go and learn how to cook, how to make cake, how to make meat pie, how to do this thing. And then we will be playing football.
Okay.
So we'll be like, we have something to do on a weekend basis. So through that, as we're playing football and then we're doing this, that becomes gradual interest. Begin to gain interest in that. We used to go to Vasipa stuff to pray. That time when we go there, we pray from Friday to Sunday. We break Saturday. We fast from Friday. We don't break.
Wow.
Yeah, we don't break. We continue the fasting until we break 6 o'clock in the evening.
Hey, that was good.
And then from there, we will drive straight to church. And then so gradually. Then because I begin to have interest in the things of God, so I joined the Sunday school. Then I joined the witnessing team. Then I was committed. So later I became, so the pastor said we should do home service. Then I took upon myself. Then I began to organize the home service. Here, at the gimbal of them, they were coming here. We were about 19 people in this place.
Oh, wow.
And I was able to open a lot of home service. Also grew the church. Yeah, that time when CCOM. And then later, I became a leader for the Sunday school. Yeah. And then became a leader of the witnessing, video, prayer. I was the deputy. So all this spiritual aspect, I was there. And we're having all night, every Friday. Oh, yes. So along the line,
I was pregnant.
Yeah, I was pregnant. We're going.
There was once we were doing this prayer, and even people who were not in the church were joining us.
Wow.
And we took upon ourselves when we were in the other side. We were praying every blessed Friday. Every blessed Friday with my pregnancy and everything. There was a time after we have come from there, I got miscarriage. And no, we will know how people can talk. You were always praying, you were always in the one night and you got miscarriage. So the whys and why, you are always praying and all this. But God always worked in His own mysterious ways. And all the children that God gave me, and they are still alive. We can all see the handwork of God.
Exactly.
So sometimes I encourage myself that those ones I couldn't get, maybe God didn't want them to stay. Those we wanted to use them and stay, we can all see the amazing work of God. So
It was
this is,
Pastor
I always call it
Amache.
issues of
Yeah.
life. You understand?
It was Pastor Amachi who discovered. I said, the hand of God is upon you. I mean, that time, that was not my mind. My passion was to make sure the job is done.
You need to be at the background.
Yeah, so we're going here, going there, blessing here, we are going there, witnessing here. You know, Deaconess Jane or Minister Jane now,
Yes.
we brought her.
Wow.
Oh, yes. We were going witnessing with First Invalde. First Invalde. And we were having even, so when we go there, first I used to go with Pastor Freeman Johnson. Yeah. And then later, I took over from him. So we were going I think it was one of the days. Yeah, we'll go there, we'll organize the people.
Every Saturday.
Every Saturday, we'll go there. That place was a draw house there. We organize, we have a church there. We'll do church with them and everything. We'll go at time. We'll go with the favor, and then Chichi. Because we brought so many people to the church. So I did not know that was a calling. No, I think that I have passion for that thing. But the men of God who saw the call on me, I didn't know. I think that it's my job that I need to do.
Yeah.
So and it was easy for me.
Yeah.
Because
Very
you have
easy.
the passion.
Yeah, I don't struggle in doing anything like no. It was just easy. And those days, after teaching the Sunday school, now we're having bus in 6 a.m.
Okay.
And the bus, the driver who drive the bus will be angry with some of the ladies. They will insult him. He will not drive. So after I finish teaching the Sunday school, then I'll go down, go and take the bus.
Wow.
And
start
go
taking
and bring
people to
people
church.
to church. So I went through every stages of
Wow.
life. I love the work of God.
Yeah.
And I never knew I'm going to be.
Your pastor.
No. I mean, my own is just to do the work.
Yeah.
And this place too, this house was the
House of mission house.
mission house. Our bishop, former bishop, all of them have slept here. Pastor Nemo have slept here. All the men of God who used to come outside to preach, they were here.
This is the mission house.
One day we host vine songs. Vine songs.
The
people.
vine songs. You don't know the vine songs.
Those that let your living water flow. We hosted them
We
here.
have hosted them twice.
Yeah. Our Pastor Amache invited them. They came. We hosted them here. And then one of them saw the calling on me, and he gave me his Bible.
It wasn't the vine. It was Pastor, the one who used to go to Ghana. That great man of God who used to go to Ghana, American.
Okay.
He's the one who gave you the Bible
Yeah, he
first.
gave me
That
first Bible.
take this and you preach the gospel
Yeah.
one day.
Yeah, it was at the white.
A white man.
White. He came here.
I've forgotten the
Yeah.
name.
So he gave me the Bible. He asked me to have. I said no. He gave me his Bible. He
His
said,
Bible.
I will preach the word of God one day. Me that time, nothing.
Yeah. So did you receive it with joy or you
Joy.
were a little?
No, I received it. Me, my own was the joy that God have given to me to do the job. That is all. Me, that it was my passion that the job must be done. Not thinking of all this. No.
Yeah.
But I saw when the man of God, I have this great faith in it that I don't know what he saw that he gave him his Bible. So whatever they gave, that man, and he prayed that you preach the gospel with the Bible. Yeah. So, and there was a time we went to convention. Those days we were going to convention in Hamburg. And the man of God also saw him. And when he was praying for me, he said, you will become a great man of God. So he prayed. The video and everything is here. You understand? So it wasn't like, as I said before, everybody think you are going to
I'll come to Germany to hustle. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so right now, as a pastor and deaconess, what challenges have you faced in this pastoral ministry? Or some challenges, maybe not specific for your church members, say, this is my example.
Oh, there are challenges in everywhere.
Yeah.
You know, Number one, you need to understand that the devil doesn't want you to do the work well. So you are the number one target of the devil. And so he will throw arrows against you and your partner. Misunderstanding, challenge problems, ministry problems. You also have problems with your bishop and all these things. So it's a challenge. Yeah, a challenge. And then, but one thing that you need to know. So, you know, I went through a lot of challenges, and God gave me 3 words. Three words. Because I could not believe my eyes. A man of God can stand in the pulpit and lie. I couldn't take it those days. And there are things that a man of God can travel, divide, group, tell this one, don't tell this one. That time, that was the time I was, so I couldn't stand those things. How can this be?
Yeah, you were zealous.
So then I'm somebody that can tell my mind.
Yeah.
I begin to tell them my mind.
Yeah.
I said, no, this is this, you know, and I was growing. So I faced so many challenges. There are certain words I'm supposed not to say. There are certain things I'm supposed not to do. You see, but it was lack of maturity. So I went through a lot of things. We went through attacks, difficult attacks. But thank God, God kept us. So in the battle of affliction, at that time, I couldn't take certain things, and I couldn't deal with certain people also, because the thing is A and they're turning it B, and I said no. How this one is white, you say it's black. You people must accept it as a black. So I couldn't take it at all. No. I said no, I won't. So it became so even along the line, I left the church. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I told Pastor Nemo, I went and said, I can't continue fellowship with you. So I went. And then he prayed for me. He didn't like it, but he prayed for me. Then I left. But then my wife has gone to US. But then she was not here.
She didn't know.
Because there are things I can't take.
You can't take.
Yeah, so I said, no. So I resigned. So, and then she came from US and said, well, I'm not going to that church because there are things I can't take. You see. And it was the beginning of challenges in the ministry. And I didn't know all these things. But I think I was an elder or a deacon. Yeah, I resigned. I came to man of God.
I'm giving birth to a girl already. So no, it was a deacon.
A deacon, I said no. Because, you see, there are things that it's A.
Yeah.
Church that we are coming to learn A, B, C, D, and the church want to turn A to be B.
Yeah.
I couldn't take that thing. So I went straight there, I resigned. But I went for him to pray for me. But other people couldn't take it. That's when they left without for me. I went there, I told him I'm point blank.
Yeah.
Because when he comes, he sleeps here.
Yeah.
So I said, no, listen, so he pray for me. And I left. But every Sunday he will be calling.
Oh.
Because I was church, I said, fine. And there was a program that it was Apostle General who came here. And then we went to the program at the
come from America.
Yeah, my wife has come from America. So after the program, then pastor told Apostle General that this has happened. I have left the church. And then the heart cannot take it. So I was there when they came to call me. They said the Apostle General is calling. So I went and they said, sit down. So I sat down. And then he told me that pastor have told him that there was a member here and I have left. Then I said, oh yes, it's true, I left. And he said, why? So there are things I don't like it. You know, because something happened. And now our bishop was not here. And when he came, Black was also following the same pattern. You see, because so there are things that I couldn't take it, and you cannot fight your man of God. For you to get blessings, better you go stay outside, a little bit. So when I explained myself, then Apostle General said, fine, it's fine. My argument is genuine and it's okay. He says it's better that he pray for you, that he left, but I want to settle this issue. I want you to come back. So we talked, and I said, okay. I told him, okay, I hear. I said, okay, I hear. You see, so, and later I think they called my wife or something like that. You see, and then, no, that issue still was there until one day Apostle Sowa came and was preaching and said, they said, the Kimbuachi have done that, the ENOCH have done that. Who can prove to me he did this, he did that? No one. Was preaching in the church. And say, yes, we had this, we had that, we had that. But we came, we realized that they are rather holding the church. Because everywhere they went, they say, we came there to do witnesses, to call them to come back to church. Because people left the church.
Oh, wow.
Oh yes. And they will be going there. But in our name in Hamburg was the opposite. So when they came later, they found out that all this thing was a lie. You see?
Yeah.
It was a lie. And then because anywhere they would go, they say, you people that we thought you were leaders, they are not leaders, but they are rather coming to us, praying for us, bringing us back. So they are there before they were able to know all these things was a lie they placed on us. Aha. So later that was more got to know them. The real truth. So there's a whole lot of ministry. But you see, God used all those things to train us, give us an experience. I learned so many things. And God spoke to me with the 3 things. And that thing has helped me up to today. He said, in a battle of affliction, when you are careful, when God speaks and you're able to pick it up, you'll be blessed. So I tell some people to ask me, but how did you do it? I said, it is easy. Because God gave me 3 things concerning men of God. He spoke to me clearly. He said, my son, I want you to know this. Every man of God, Bishop, has the one that he listed, the one that he trusted, and the one that I've forgotten the one that he would do what I've forgotten. So so
favorite.
People that he favorite. So these 3 things helped me in the ministry. So later I became calm and I began to. So now people wonder how. God gave me 3 things. And these 3 works perfect. And I can be under any man of God. But don't be offended. But during my growing time, I can't take this. I can't take that. But later he taught me. He said, no. Despite this and that, have these 3 things in you. And you'll be perfect with everybody. And I realized that I can find it in almost every man of God that I've worked under. And this have helped me. Because there are things I cannot take it. And this is going on. Up to now, it's going on. You see? One time somebody asked me, how did you handle all these accusations and all this and attacking your children, but I never heard you open your mouth? I laughed. I said, if you don't know where you are going, every road leads you there.
You're like a wind. Wherever the wind blows you.
Because that person who asked me also was in their other group. And I think they did, and I never spoke a word. What they did to my wife, my children. When I come, I talk to my family at home. Respect everybody, greet everybody, obey God. These 3 things. The rest, they are just like going to RD meeting the person in the shop. After buying what you need, you come out. The person also will come out. Everybody go different ways. So it's the same like a church.
Yeah.
Then I told them, make your church in a church.
Yeah.
Know why you came there. You didn't come because of the pastor. No. You came because of Christ. Christ will preach through the pastor. So take that, the one that Christ will preach through the pastor, the one that belongs to you. Take it. The rest. If you say everybody agree, whether a person responds, doesn't respond, that's not your business. Do what God will bless you. So that person asked me, and I said, no, I'm not bothered by anything. And nobody have offended me, nobody have done anything. If so, you see, you can be offended of what you react towards what the person have done. So why do you react? The person is just a passenger, sitting in the same car. He can sit in the car and make noise and disturb you. Close your ears. But almost the vehicle will reach your destination. You come out. So don't listen to what they are saying. No. Be focused and know why you are there. That's all. That'll help us and help my family. So at times people ask me, people are wondering. There are certain people think that I need to speak out. I need to react, especially when they're attacking my wife and my children in the church. I never spoke anything. No. Why do I waste my time? I don't have time. Because I'm there for a reason. So if that reason that I'm there, why do I let left to bother me, right to bother me? The Bible says, look straight, don't look on left or right. Concentrate. Pick the way that God to bless for your heart. Live the way. The man of God can be, he's not a perfect man of God. He's not a perfect human being. He also subject to infirmities and weakness. So what do you need to do? Take the word that coming from that man of God and apply it for your life. He also has a shortcomings. So, what you can have for him to stand, do it. The rest, if you cannot do it, there's no need to criticize nobody. Leave it. You are not a judge. Jesus said, I'm not a judge. So neither do I condemn you. So, you are not a judge. You are there to listen to the message for your life and to bless you. That's why everybody went to challenges. Yes. We can say we went through the high challenge. We face so many things, but I never my why? You are not the one that I came. I came because of Jesus. So why should I answer you? No, there's no need. And when you have that attitude in you, not to offend you.
I think Mama Violence wants to say something too.
The man of God has said it all. And one thing I have seen in my Christian life. If anything, that I think I cannot do it because it's not easy when somebody is doing something I know this is not right. If I bust out, I bust out to let you know that I don't fear anybody. I don't fear anything. And when I want to speak my mind, I will really speak what is real and what is the truth. So if sometimes I think that maybe I'll bust out and in our language say you very afraid. Now I want to be on control. You can't control it. I would rather take it to the Lord in prayer. For me, whether it's my husband, whether it's my children, my man of God, whoever you want to disturb me or what you are doing, I know it's I cannot, or if I have to face you, I'll face you. I will just take it in the Lord in prayer. If it's fasting, I will fast. And I will talk to God. Let me know the right thing. Why is this happening? And so most of the time, people think I'm always laughing. I'm always not. In fact, people think I don't have any worries in my life. I don't have problems. But because I've chosen whom I've known and whom I'm trusted and whom I believe. The songwriter says, take it to the Lord in prayer. Whoever my boss, everything, I take it to the Lord in prayer. And when you take it to the Lord, know He is the final judge. He is the final say. He'll fight your battles. There was a lady in our church in those days. He said, I know you have issues with this. And when we are singing, and I know you raise your hands, when I raise my hands and the Lord fight my... The way you sing with that joy, I know that is your prayer. And I said, you have seen it well. Because if you don't give this Christendom that we are in now, if you don't take everything to the Lord in prayer, and you want to do with your carnal mind, I'm telling you, you will not go far. You know, and you know, as the man of God said, every road will lead you there. But if you have a focus that you know where you are going and you know what God has told you to be in the near future, you will not fight any cockroach. You will not fight any monster. No. Flies, you know. When you see them coming, you see them afar. So when you fight, then they direct your way. You understand? But when you know where you are going, but if you have a focus that you know where you are going and you know what God has told you to be in the near future, you will not fight any cockroach. You will not fight any monster. No. Flies, you know. When you see them coming, you see them afar. So when you fight, then they direct your way. You understand? But when you know where you are going,
on a lighter note, you have an amazing job. And I just want you to share how the ladder was for you, because you came into Berlin, you said you started a cleaning job. That was a humble beginning. So how did you start with that, and how were you favored to work in the Ghana embassy?
Oh, okay. I mean, you know, as I'm saying, I was committed to do the work of God. So there was a gentleman, now he's an ambassador, called Ambassador Grant. So he came, he joined us in CCOM. That time, you know, Berlin now became the capital. So all the embassies in Bonn relocated to Berlin. And when they came to our church. First, they went to different church, and then they paid a visit to our church. And when they came there, and they saw how the service, and they love it. And then they start joining. So it was Mr. Grant who joined the church. That time he was the consulate in Berlin, and we were having the embassy in Bonn. So as he was with us, and he was really committed. He was a diploma in charge, a consulate, and when he joined the church, he was down to earth. He was very strong. When he comes to church, he will join the choir. Saturday will come. Apart from all his itineraries, before his spirit time to come to the choir and come and train
for Sunday service.
For Sunday service. And those I used to play the drum. Because those days, now we didn't have a drummer. So Pastor George used to play. Then I said, I'll learn this thing. So my wife went to US, and then I went to cut two sticks. The time she returned from US, all the cooking utensils are remolded. Learn how to play this drum. So gradually. Then,
so when we left the church, is there you went to intensify the drum?
Yeah, the time I left the church.
So when we were coming back, we have a gift.
Yeah. When I left the church, and we joined another church. That was Pastor Lutu. Pastor Lutu was in our former church. And he also resigned and he came to Berlin. So when he came to Berlin, already we know him already. So most of us left our church. And then we joined. We left.
We're all one.
We're all one. And then the issue I was facing, that's all the other guys also. So we all left. Yeah, there's about 20 people or so.
Wow.
Yeah, we were a lot. We left. And almost everybody is a man of God now. All of us.
Everybody's a man.
Yeah, because we could not stand certain things. We couldn't stand certain things. So we left. And those we were also were the prayer people. Yeah, we were the prayer people, we were the witnessing people at the same time. So
yeah, prayer to host the church.
Yeah.
So like
so we left and we came to Pastor Lu and we built the church.
Yeah.
So after the Apostle General matter, so I left. Then when I left, then they also followed us.
Wow.
We all came back again to the church.
When we came out,
Because
follow us.
Elder Bar, now he was a pastor, but he had resigned, told our bishop, senior pastor, said, all the fight to bring Enoch back.
Wow.
When you get him back,
All
all of them will come back.
Wow.
So Pastor Nemo, every day, every Sunday, you call me. After the church, you call me, we'll talk. Despite that he prayed for and left, you still have a contact with him. We talk, he called me, we talk. So relationship was there.
Yeah.
We didn't break up the relationship because of maybe I don't know. So we still talk because he loved. He's a very good man. I love him, my bishop. You see. So as he reported the thing to the Apostle General, he called me. I went. Then I apologized. Yeah, I apologized to our senior pastor, and then Apostle General said we should come back. So I said okay. So that very Sunday, we went to church.
Okay.
We went to church.
Pastor Teacher was okay.
And Pastor Teacher. So because already we know all those big men. So the time they came, they didn't see us. So they were asking, what is this? Where is that? Where is that? And then he told them.
No, that time was when Pastor Tete started coming.
Yeah.
And when he came, he saw me and says,
Yeah, he
"You
saw.
are the wife."
She looked at her. She said, look at my wife. So now after she and my wife, they are like this. She loved my wife very, 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 very much. So all
Now,
these things.
God's also favor before the men of God. Sometimes people,
So-
I don't know what people will think. Every man of God sees me and they said, we see your face and you help us to preach. Which of course I didn't know all this things. But I thank God for this favor. Every man of God that comes to the church and see
Grace.
by the grace.
So all this. So the time we left to the other church, we didn't have drama. So
when we come back, we have a
I have to learn. So the time we went back to our church again, I can play the drum.
Wow.
And then, so I started playing the drum, and it was perfect.
Wow.
So all these things helps us, you know. So as Ambassador Grant came, was a consulate, he came to the church to join. So I hand over. Anytime that he comes, I will stand up from the drum, and then he will play.
Okay.
Yeah, because he's a diplomat, I have to represent the government on meetings. So anytime I have time he comes, I have to stand up. And then now he got a partner that he want to marry, and they need somebody who will pick his visitors from airport, help him to put things in order. So by then I have lost my job. We were redundant because the East Company, because of the war, they opened the war. So then now the East Company are bidding with our Western companies, and the Eastern are taking less loan.
The East Germany.
Yeah, the companies. So now they were making, the West Company now was making preferential treatment where we can save money. So we were having, our company was a huge. So later they need to cut down stuff because now they cannot get a contract again. So they redone. So I was there, I think the last batch that it affected us. So I was at home, so I was a little bit, I mean, I didn't have much to do.
Yeah.
So, and then, so we spoke in the church. That's no problem, I can do that for you. He said, I said, no problem. So I was having a car with my own petrol. I didn't allow him to buy petrol. So
Wow.
I'll be picking his visitors to the hotel to here. Last time, one time like this, I came almost about 1 o'clock. And then, so I was there, then he came. So the time they relocate to Berlin, all the stuff came. One of their drivers couldn't come. They said, ask for him, he said he will not come to Berlin.
Okay.
So they need a driver, serious driver. But then, the time that they were about to come, was a man, Mr. Holbrook. He was the driver to Mr. Grant. So he told me he was so auto. His time for retirement has overdue. So he told me that they are coming. So some of their staff couldn't come. So if I can write an application. So I wrote an application as a consular officer, as a passport assistant, to them in Bonn. And then the head of chancellor, but then they wrote back, so okay, they are now coming to Berlin. So when they come, they say, if there's a need arise. So they also reply me. So if there's a need arise, they will employ me to come for interview. And then, so I had a letter there.
Wow.
Yeah. So when they finally relocated here, and one of the drivers couldn't come. And but then the building also, they haven't finished. One that they have finished, they couldn't pay because the one who's supposed to pay the money squandered the money.
Wow.
So all of them were in a container, including the ambassador. All of them was in one container. I mean, I think it was 3 containers together. So, and they need a driver, somebody who's a Berliner. So Mr. Grant came to me. Then he said, they need this, but you know that I can do it. Because you know, after the Sunday school, I have to drive a church bus and I said no. So I said, okay. Then I said, okay, I'll do it. But me, I don't want to work as a driver in the embassy. I don't want to work with a Ghanaian. I told them. So they said, okay, they agreed. So the head of chancery also was in our church, and he called us and told pastor, they had this and that and that and that and that. And I said, no, I told pastor, I will do this, I don't want them, So because they need somebody, so I began to drive them. And then they saw different things that maybe I can see. So I was there when the ambassador called me in the office, because all of us were in the same container. And he said,
container office.
Yeah. One time they brought deportation people, and the policeman said, "No wonder you people are friendly. Look, your ambassador is in the container." Oh, it was a way. So he called me. He said, Enoch. I said, why? Because Mercy, he was the head of chancery. Mercy have told me. He said, no. You don't want. I say yes. I don't want to drive a Ghanaian person, a black. No, only because Mr. Grant asked me that offer. That is why. So then, ambassador loved me very, very well. So at the time when his driver traveled or is sick or something, I was a new person, but he preferred me to drive him.
Yeah.
And then, and he knows also I was also. That time was also for I was a deacon.
Like most,
they were calling me Osofo.
Before you were.
Because when I speak into their life, it happens. So they were calling me Osofo. So I said no. I also told them. So they called Pastor. They said, Pastor, you want to talk to me? And I said. So later I was there. Then he called me again. And I said, so I should really consider my issue. Because they said, I love you. I want to work with you. Then I said, I said, then Madam, he also became an ambassador. Now he's a big woman in a political realm. So she also spoke. And he said, no, she remembered that I wrote as a consular work. Consular assistant work. And that time, because they were relocated, so they wrote to me back. In case when there's a need arises, then they will take me. So they said, okay, we have 2 offers. Except the buildings are there, but they have no paid. So the keys with the people, the German company. The ones that will pay the money before they release us the building for us. So Nana Akufo-Addo, he was a foreign minister. So he came and a program appointment. German invited him. He came and then he squeezed his time, 30 minutes, 1 hour. And then they drove him to the container. That time it was 38 degrees. He entered the thing, what?
Wow.
The next day, that the thing came, and then they settled the issue, and we entered into the building. And there, after a year, then I was there. I was on leave. That the head of chancellor at that time called me. He said, "When am I resuming?" I said, "Oh, I'll be next week." He said, "Okay, when I can see him?" I said, "Okay." So immediately I resumed. I went to office to greet him. He said, "No, but you not put another change you. We are taking straight to visa. You're going to have a visa straight." So I didn't put my bag down straight. So ambassador said, "Straight, we should move it to listen." Yeah. So I went there in the visa session, and I was there for I think 2 years. And then they said no, because there was a little bit. They said no, because I'm able to stabilize the place. The passport was having an issue, and then
go to it.
they sent me to the passport.
Yeah.
And up to now, I've been in the passport session.
Wow.
Up to today. So it was out of the commitment working for Christ.
Yeah.
And also helping Mr. Grant because he didn't know nobody.
Yeah.
And I said, well, I will do that. And so out of that, you see, that's why they said your gift will open room for you.
Amen.
Yeah. So that's why whatsoever your hand finds to do wholeheartedly. Because he saw how passionate I love the work of God.
Yeah.
And I do the work of God with him.
Yeah.
And then I was able to recommend me, say, no, they should call me. They should convince me. So they even they called senior pastor several times. They should convince me. I said, no. Because that time, the company I was working, the salary was good. There, the salary was little.
Yeah.
By then, the salary was no good.
Yeah.
But these days, it's a little bit better. So it was out of that. So anytime that, whatsoever that you have, do it wholeheartedly because you don't know tomorrow.
Yeah.
So all what I did, I was doing not for Mr. Grant. I was doing because he was in the church, and I want him to stay. That's why I did all my best to help him organize the wedding, and it was successful. And through that, God also opened the door. It's a time the door will not open big; it will open small. But when you enter with obedience, gradually. And the time that we were moving into bio passport, I was the one that they selected out. They should send me to Mobile.
Wow.
Yeah, to go and learn the bio everything. So I was sent by the office to train me there. I was there with my boss, Mr. Anum, he's an ambassador. So when they were trained, and then we came back.
Yeah.
And up to now, I've been there up to today. So it's the grace of God that have catapulted me from nowhere to that place.
Amen.
And by His grace, God also has elevated me to make me His servant, giving me a branch, heading a branch. I didn't come, I came in for different issues.
Yeah.
And then through His own mysterious ways, His glory has come upon me. And by the grace of God, in our church, have the people in the church, about 80% of my own community.
Yeah.
God brought me there, and I've been at times I minister to them when they come for consular matters. And some of them I can hear from God, and I will tell them, like my son Isaac, he came to do the wife passport, and I spoke a word to him. And was surprised.
Wow.
So out of that, so I invited him. Now he is my PA.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it is all is the doing of the Lord. And whatsoever that I want to say to a viewer who's listening or somebody's listening, see, whatsoever that you have to do, don't do what doing for man. No, you're not doing for a man. You are doing it for yourself and for God. Because you see, whatsoever that you will do, you say there's a reward. And at times the reward can come now. But at times the reward can come tomorrow. Every time the reward will come to your children. So what I want to say is, whatsoever that you are doing, do it wholeheartedly. Do it for Christ. And the Christ who will see in the secret will reward you openly. And the glory that He will bestow upon you, you can't buy. No, you cannot. and so many things that God will do. And at times I'll be there, there's somebody, a big man will call me from Ghana. Yeah. And then they said, you ask me A, B, C, and I tell us, you ask, who gave you my number two? See, so there are certain things that it's always by the favor of God. Yeah. So we thank God that it is by His grace that has brought me where I am now. Because at times when I look into my life, there are something I don't deserve. I don't deserve at all. No. There's something I don't deserve at all. By the grace of God. Amen. I can ask myself, what did I say that people are listening to me? Ask God, how people come because they are coming to listen to Pastor ENOCH. So meaning God, there's something that you have been doing through me. By me myself at times I cannot front on. I cannot understand. At times I ask myself so many questions. As the Holy Ghost, so many questions. There are certain things that baffles me. That shows that the work, it is not you. It is Him. Yeah. It is Him.
Amen. Okay, but would you like to say?
I think we have said a lot.
Oh. Yeah.
Yes, I've said a lot, and all that Pastor is saying, whatever your husband has to do, do it to the glory of God.
Amen.
I would say, like, when I see the need of the people, sometimes it's not my way doing it like I want to do it, but it's what God has put inside of me that helps me to do what I'm always doing. It's only by His grace, especially when I see the students, I see anybody in the help, and if I know I can do it to help, if I sit down, my heart doesn't help me to sit down, but to do something. That's help me, keeps me going. That's why I always do what I'm doing to help people.
Amen.
And I know God, if God doesn't bless me, He will still bless me and bless my children's children.
Amen. Amen. I think the last question I'll ask is, what conception or what thing do you think maybe Africans or other people have of Germany that is not really true, or perspective? Like they think that if you come to Germany, maybe you are rich, or like some conceptions or misconceptions.
Okay, people think, not only in Germany, I think, or Europe. When you come to Europe, they know this money is on the silver platter, is on the trees that we planted. The things that we go through to even get money. I was one time telling my mother-in-law, I said, here, if you don't have, you don't have. And in Africa, at least you have your auntie, you have your cousin, you have your sister, you have your brother. If there's something, you say, let me go to my uncle or my brother, my this. But here, if you are here alone and you don't have anybody, you don't have anybody. It takes only the grace for you to survive. So whatever people are in Africa is thinking that we are here and everything is well. Everything is not well as they think. Whatever they go through, we also go through here. But just that here is more advanced place.
System works.
That's why, and every system is working. As Trini Jonas say, the system is working. So if the system is working, automatically the people there in but in Africa, the system is not working. It's not working. You understand? But here the system is working. That's why we can also help ourselves to help others in Africa. It takes only the grace of God that touches us to also have a gift. Otherwise,
one thing I would say is, if you have a degree and a gift, you see, Africa is the best place. The problem is that it's lack of jobs. As for the system works, but it doesn't work well. It doesn't work well. That's why hardship is part of our DNA. Because the way we have made our system, the rich will become richer and the poor become poorer. How do you imagine that a student has finished university in 5 years, 6 years, the person has no job? What do I expect the person to do? The person needs to go through Mediterranean, risk his or her life to go to the other continent to see if something better can come.
Yeah.
It's like those days, Wales, London was mountainous places. So they said, why do we sit here and that? So they begin to, if you are a professional person, it is easy for you. Someone like IT, when IT comes here, they will not deport him, they'll get a job because they need them. Nurses come, they need them. So there are certain lucrative jobs that now the West don't come to your country and come and take you as a slave. But they have already elevated certain salaries and benefits around certain jobs that them will run by themselves. That's why people are running away to Canada, to Germany, to London, to Canada, Australia. Why? Because of future and their destiny. Because the doctor in Ghana and the doctor in Europe, they don't end the same.
Big difference.
Big difference. And why did the person stay them? And then the politicians. So the person go to parliament for 2 years. His life have changed. And why do you want him, the doctor, or that lawyer, or that engineer, sit there and die? No. Nurses, no. Teachers, no. But we borrow money and then we will train them. And then the Western also will increase them, and then the people that the slave trade has increased than the other day.
That's modernized now.
Yeah, now you yourself will come. They won't come there. You will come.
They have digital the slave trade.
So that is why people are running away from this. Because as I came, I also left. As I came, at least my mother didn't suffer like those days. My siblings, all of them, put them in school. Yes, all of them. Put them in school. Our last born, after he finished tech, he finished this thing, he had this lottery. I took him to US. So if I did not come, they can't go. Where is the money for the school? Single mother? No. That's why now people are running away from their country and going to green pasture, another country, to work. That's why now if we don't manage our economy well, very soon all our youth will be running away. Because nobody wants to stay there. He has reached an age, he has to leave home. And because of money, he's still staying with the parents. It can't be possible. So the person needs to leave. That's also we need to pray that God will increase us so we can go and build factories to keep our kids give them technical training that they can now themselves establish themselves. Because not all after when you finish university, somebody can finish technical school and the person can employ himself or herself. And then we see the person is doing well. Then they graduate with a degree and you can't do anything because of the level of your standard. Certain job you will not do. And then you are also you are out of work. So now either if it's a lady prostitute, get 3 men, 4 men, just to keep her life running. And the young men also be joining bad companies. This 419 thing on the internet to get money. Where is the job now? There's no job. So now they become fraud. Good people
become fraudsters.
So that's why people are now running away. Then nobody wants to live home. Home is home. Recently I visit home. Home is home. But people are, when you go to German embassy, American embassy, people are killed. Why? They need visa to run away from the country. Why? No job. So that is why you see they are two different. You can balance the equation. See the one living in Europe that has a vision, that person's life will be transformed. And then when he goes back, people see different. People see the person doing so many things. And they are also sitting down. I met one of my friends. I'm older than him. But in fact, I saw him. I was talking to him. So many things was going through my mind, but I wasn't talking to him. And it is not easy. You can see from the person that it's not with him. It is not with him. So we thank God.
Yeah. So if you are almost done, I just want us to have a little charade.
Okay.
Yes, so let me bring out, it's just only 3 questions. Mama Violet to select first. So yeah, you select
You
which
see,
one.
that's why I said, let me bring my glasses. You see?
Yes.
So,
Or if you like, I can read it for you.
let me read and see what is inside.
Yeah.
I've said it already.
Ah, yeah, it's true. You said it.
Yeah.
Oh,
How many
Yeah.
years have you been married? We met 1991
uh-huh.
and we are 1991 to this date. How many years? 32 years.
32. Okay.
We have said it
Okay.
already.
Then Pastor Enoch, take one.
You need space.
Okay. When did you got married?
Hey, okay. Yeah, the specific dates.
Yeah, we got married
1993.
93.
Okay.
Was it?
We
July.
met 91. We got married December 25th, December 1993.
Yeah.
Okay.
And this
Okay.
house.
Wow. That's nice. So then this
First-
one, yeah.
The first was an engagement. That was in
93.
93.
And 95 we
And
did it.
95, and then
And 2014 we did it again.
we
bless it.
Thank God.
So 3 times. We want to make sure it is real.
Yeah. Okay, for this one, let me ask yourself.
Okay.
So, what is Mama Violet's favorite food and favorite color?
Oh,
So you
yes.
have it in
Oh,
your mind.
This test. Hey, viewers.
oh wait, this I don't
Viewers.
need, you don't need tongues.
Viewers. This is the. You should have brought all this stuff beginning. Exactly.
Yeah.
The food is the last Sunday she ate Saturday she ate
Viewers.
dear who.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know how they say dear who in
Tuesday.
Tosafi. Yeah, Tosafi.
And her favorite color?
Africa is she like this. I think Violet.
33 years.
Yeah. Every year the Sunday she had the wrapper. She did the wrapper.
Okay.
Which color was the wrapper?
I think pink also.
Viewers, not all.
No, not all good. Not all
that
glitter,
is
glitter good.
It means, you see, the man of God has failed you. You don't even know the wife's favorite color.
So, Mama Violet, what's your favorite food and favorite color?
My favorite food is, okay, Papa said,
Oh,
I love it.
Okay.
I can do it. And if you give me 100 times a day, I can eat it because I love it. Tears of who I can make it myself. I also like nice soup.
Wow.
I like light soup, like Nantrinam beef, and you make it with dry fish. I like it.
Wow.
I like chicken soup.
Okay.
Yeah.
And there are varieties of food.
Varieties food. And I love, it's my passion. I love cooking.
Yeah.
I love cooking, and I like also doing pastries.
Okay.
I love pastry.
Yeah.
I bake cake. I do
Buffalo
meat
pie.
pies,
Yeah.
donuts,
So
and all
delicious.
stuff. I love pastries. I love cooking. I love cooking jollof rice.
Yeah.
I like doing red all types of. I also love making Chinese food. I love it. I like German food.
Yeah.
I can cook it very well.
Hey, German
Yeah.
food. Which kind of German
Yeah,
food?
like simple. German food are simple but nice. Kartoffel with gemüse, with
Macaroni
vegetables.
salad.
And I love, I can do very beautiful macaroni salad.
Yeah.
And name it all. I love cooking. That's my passion.
Wow.
When I season chicken and make it
Hey,
white.
So, Mama, what's your favorite color?
My favorite color is my own color. I'm called Violet. I like
Oh, then the pasta.
one passing. And yeah, TV show one passing. What's it pink?
I say Violet.
He said
Hey.
Violet. He wasn't so sure.
One passing.
So, Mama,
Yes.
Violet, what about you? What's Papa's favorite food and his color?
Papa's favorite food is fufu. Me and my contemporary fry.
Wow.
Today we have cooked contemporary fry, and the children will be fighting Adam. Contemporary. He like green stuff. Green. If he would always like organic food, he would really want to have every day, and he always want fresh food.
Wow.
Fresh food in Europe here, fresh food. So I always cook fresh food.
Wow.
Yeah, that's it.
Nice.
He like it. He like Simon.
Ish.
Yeah. Opoku. He say, oh yeah, Potamfi, Opoku. He like granite soup.
Wow.
Yeah, he likes it. For that one day. Yesterday he brought, was it 6 or 4? 4 granules. And he like vegetables.
Wow.
He like fruits. He like vegetables.
That's nice.
So
Yeah.
besides, and sometimes say, Mama, do a film quite. If film quite means when I add all the fish, the dry meat, the dry fish, and I will put, and it's nice. I put precursor.
Wow.
Precursor. Not really abenkwan.
Okay.
If you do abenkwan, he likes it. But his own is more in katamkwine.
Okay.
Then when you say do a film meat with dry fish stuff,
Yeah.
and I do it and I want to beef.
Okay. What's our Papa's favorite color?
Papa's favorite color is light nesewi.
Like. Okay.
That's what I feel.
We feeling nesewi and fashion. Which you put time color with the better.
Okay, Papa. So Papa,
Dark blue.
So Papa, what's your favorite food and favorite color?
Oh, food, that's my mom said.
Oh wow.
Fufu and then Katakwa. She left one.
Okay.
Grease and okra soup.
Good. So she has filled the house.
I have not failed because if I make the devo,
Yeah.
we want to eat the whole true devo.
Yeah.
But he want to add grease
Okay.
to the devo soup.
Because
Because he don't really, because of me, that he started learning how to do the chiozafi.
Okay.
He didn't know how to. You know, the Kumasi people eat more chiozafi than any other region. Yeah, only Kumasi people eat. So a lot of people, when we say devo, we say, what is that? I've never tried it before. Yeah. So he didn't really know what
It was
it was.
I like blue black.
blue black.
Yeah,
Oh,
blue
okay.
black, that's it.
Did I pass what I
Yeah,
said?
you passed.
Shit.
Okay. So what are your final words for our viewers?
And what?
So it can be maybe life advice, motivational messages, anything that you would like to share.
Okay. Papa will say it.
I would say first seek the kingdom of God and His righteousness. I think Matthew 6:33 also. And any other things shall be added. So when you seek for the kingdom, everything will be given to you. It's a blessing, peace, long life, salvation. You know, it's free, but it costs Jesus life. So one thing I would say, everything Jesus first. Because everything here we will leave it one day.
Yeah.
So first, let's seek for the kingdom first, and let's give our life also to Christ, for He is our Savior.
Yeah.
So that when this eye is closed and the other eye is open, we will hear, "Well done, faithful servant." This is all everybody is trying to achieve. And the race, life is a battle. Life is how you see it. With patience, with endurance, you'll be able to make it. Some, you see, the reason why people travel, we're not patient. Whatsoever, here is a promised land. Whatsoever your heart desire, with patience, you will get it. You will get it. At times you may face challenges, it's part of human life. So when you see these challenges, don't give up. Never give up. Because when you give up, you will fail. Yeah. So don't give up. Continue serving God. And continue working. Work hard. And believe God for grace. So that your life will never be the same. So what I want you to know, once I've introduced Christ to you, that with Christ all things are possible. To them that believe. To them that think that I can make it. And God will also help you to make it. So it doesn't matter as you begin these things. You don't know what tomorrow brings. But continue. There may be challenges here, people may criticize you here, people may say, didn't do it well, this one may say, what is another. But if you have a vision and you are focused, you end up to where you want to.
Amen.
So there's nothing too little that you cannot do. There's a great opportunity out there. With Christ, you will make it.
Amen.
God bless you.
God bless you. Okay. So this is it. Thank you so much for your words of wisdom, for sharing your experience, advice, and I know so many people are going to learn from what you have shared. Your down moments, your up moments, and everything in between. Thank you so much for sharing it with us. God richly bless you.
Bless you.
For having us also.
Thank you. So this is it. Thank you so much for tuning in. And don't forget, people who are amazing help others to be amazing. Thank you.